Hi, grade 12s. This video recording on how to apply to university is for anyone currently in an Ontario high school setting and who is planning to apply to next year's university programming. At this time, if you are watching this in a classroom, your teacher hopefully has handed out an actual hard copy, step-by-step, of how to apply to university, and you can follow along with this video tutorial. You can jot down notes, and that's an important resource to take with you. If you are watching from virtual school or you're watching from home, then this video will be placed on our school website. Under guidance, there's a video library. And so this video will be uploaded to that area on the school website, as well as the link so that you can download the step-by-step for how to apply. Applying to university really is foolproof. They have set it up so you really can't make too many errors. However, it is an important application, obviously, and you want to take care, primarily taking care with the programs that you are adding and making sure that all of your information is correct. So please pay attention, follow along with the step-by-step, and again, take notes as we go along. By this time, you certainly will have your PIN number and your usernames mailed to your home. And so it's important when you start this application that you're sitting down and that you have that envelope and those numbers right beside you. The other thing I'll just point out is this application is fluid. It can be accessed 24/7. So as long as you are always hitting save, then you can leave it for days, leave it for weeks. Again, you can come back to it. You can make program additions, program modifications. Again, as long as you're always hitting that save. So this is a document you can start today when you go home, and you can continue to edit and add throughout the coming weeks. Again, I'm going to go through some important deadlines, so that will actually be where I start. You'll notice that I definitely have two tabs open, and I would suggest that you always have two tabs open when you are doing the university application. The first one is definitely ouinfo.ca. That is your go-to resource for any of the Ontario university programs that will have their clear requirements, their cutoffs. You can always go back to that. And there's one more thing that I just want to show you. Again, it's why I would always keep OU Info open while I am doing the application. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen. And if I go to, again, ouinfo.ca, and I'm going to pull up, for example, I'm going to pull up the Bachelor of Science program at Guelph. Typically in our first video series that we did for researching, we went over overview, which has your grade range cutoffs. We went over requirements, which has the prerequisite courses that must be included in your 6th grade 12 U or M. What I wanted to highlight here is just that there's also an admissions tab. This will also let you know how schools are viewing your grade 11 marks. Each school has something slightly different, and obviously grade 11 marks are important when it comes to early admissions. And anyway, if you go down, again, it will let you know if that university has something called a supplemental form. In this case for Guelph, you can actually open it, download it, and submit it by May 1st. The supplemental form would be a chance for you to describe if there was something that affected your marks this year, if you are extremely involved in extracurricular, and that also might have affected your marks. This is used, as it says here, in the 3rd round of high school offers. So if your grade level might be just below what they're looking for, that supplemental form could help you actually get in. So again, every university will have some information about that, how they see failed and repeated courses, and then also something called, well, timing and process for admissions. So again, it will go over how they will use grade 11 marks and when they typically will be offering your admission, and alternate offers. So every school will certainly have a section called alternate offers. This is important because if you see here at Guelph, if you are not admitted to biomedical science or human kinetics, you are automatically considered for Bachelor of Science, physical sciences, biological science. Why that is important is because each program that you put on your application, you must pay $50. So if you can see this information, then maybe that will save you $50. You won't add that other program to your application. So again, There are lots of specific things that each school will have differently that will help you during the application process. Okay, I'm now actually going to go on to UAC. And that is how we say it. If you hear announcements at the school, you're going to hear us referring a lot to Application Center. We call it UAC. The Application Center basically is a mediator between the high school and the universities that you are applying to. The Application Center basically gathers all of your information. It will gather your marks. It will gather all of your demographics, which we at the school have already sent, and it will then send them specifically to the schools that you apply to. So this is the ouac.on.ca, and again, on that handout that you have in front of you, you can see that website right there. The application that if you are currently in an Ontario high school, the application that you will be using is an Ontario 101 application. So if you want to hit that, then that is where, again, that's where we're going to start. And before, I'm just going to get rid of this box. Before we actually get to the application itself, I want to go over two important things that are, again, on the sidebar. Important dates. So we've definitely mentioned, and it's at the top of your paper, January 15th is going to be the first key deadline that you will have. All students are considered equal as long as they apply by January 15th. Now, obviously, students can apply to university after that. It's just that if you want to be considered in the first round, those spots are going to go to the students that have made that deadline and have completed their application. The other thing that is important is just less important for you because you don't need to worry about sending in your marks. The high school will be sending in your grades at the end of each quadmester. So we will be sending in your final marks from the 2 courses that you did in quadmester 1. Those are going by November 20th. The next set of marks are going in February. The next set of marks will be going in, definitely we'll send them in for the probably the end of April. And then the final set of marks, which will represent the end of your high school, will be going in early July. The 2 dates I just want to point out here is that students might be hearing from their university choices as late as May 27th. So schools have until May 27th to let you know whether you received a spot at their school or not. And then the earliest date that they can expect an answer from you is June 1st. So even if you do get early admission, there's no pressure for you to accept that offer. You can wait and see what the other schools are offering, especially for those who are looking at scholarships. June 1st is the first date that they can demand that you have to respond. So lots of good information there on that side tab. The other thing I just want to go over again is fees. It is $150. Again, that is your base application fee. So even if you only apply to one school, one program, it would still cost you $150. And again, 3 of your program choices could be at the same university. So up to 3 could be at the same school, but $150 is your base. And every additional choice that you put on your application will be $50 more. If you scroll down, you'll also see that some programs in some schools, such as McMaster Engineering, typically engineering, Waterloo Accounting, they will also have an additional fee that you will be paying as part of this application. Payments can be made through credit card or online banking, and so that information again will be in the application itself. But again, that is going to be on the home page of the UAC 101 application. Okay. So I think we're ready to get into more of the application itself. I have already created an account, so I'm actually going to share this quick video because I have already done this process, so I can't show you. This is one of the video tutorials, again, that is on the UAC homepage. Extremely helpful if you are having any anxiety or any questions. It really takes you through step by step. So I'm going to show this, again, how to create your UAC account. And this is where you'll see the importance of having that envelope with you. Okay, and again, as I said, some great videos there on every topic that you might need as you go through the application. And just to reassure you that there is always a place to find the answers that you might need. Okay, so now I'm going to actually go to the application itself, going back to the home page. Again, I'm going to be doing a 101 application. And as I said, I have already created my username and password. So this time I'm going to log in. As you can see from that video, the first time you go on, you're going to be clicking this one to create your account. I have already created my account. I do want to just highlight a couple of things from that video that they drew attention to. That is the importance of email. You need to enter an email address that you will check regularly. That is your primary means of communication with the application center, as well as any universities that you apply to. The other thing is to make sure you write down your username and your password. That is something that the school will not be able to help you with. You create these. So if I would suggest that the application, the code letter that you got in the mail, you can write it on there. Keep that piece of paper. You can also write it on the purple form that we're handing out. Again, the step-by-step how to apply. Write those username and passwords there. Because it's amazing how often students forget them or lose them, and then there's a lot of panic kind of at the last minute. So I am going to log in and use the password that I have created. And as I said before, this application is live 24/7, so I can go on at any time as I continue to do research, and I can continue to edit and add changes. The primary goal is to work down all of the links that are on this side. Now you'll notice, so you start with personal information. Some of these, the school has already sent in. So we have already sent the application center the demographics of the students in grade 12 who are potentially applying. So all of this should be here. And again, I always want to push the message about saving at the bottom so that nothing is lost as you go along. That purple step-by-step kind of again leads you through the next steps on how to complete this. But again, you're going to simply make sure they have the correct email, the addresses are correct, you can update phone numbers. Academic background, you will have to add. So you would simply look for Simcoe, you'll look for the Holy Trinity, there's a few of us, and you would need to put that in, as well as the start date, when you started high school, and the completion date, which will for most of you be, I think, June 2021. The key part of the application that might take a bit more time, obviously, is to add programs. So probably the easiest way under program, browse programs, you can look under each university. So if you want to browse by university, I simply click on by university. It's a little slow. And if I know some of the schools that I am interested in going to, I will simply click on that school. So let's say I've already used Guelph, so I'll continue with Guelph. University of Guelph, and it should pull up all of the programs that are offered at Guelph. So let's say I am interested in the environmental management program. Okay, I can pull up that program, click on it. Again, it's going to review all of the required courses. It also has a great link to the admission requirements. So if you're just wondering what that cutoff is, it will review again the school, the start date, and first year program. You're going to hit save. Oh, expected course enrollment. See, it won't let you move until you actually complete everything. So I'm thinking full time and click save. Okay, I have already added a few programs, so you can see on the next page, it will go to program choices. And at this time, you can review again the programs that you've chosen. You can also put them in the order of preference. And so that's especially important if you are applying to 2 programs at one university. You can put them in the order that you would like them to be considered. Again, always clicking save. If we're moving down the sidebar, the next one is additional university details. And again, they want to know if you have previously applied to these schools. So if you have If not, you can simply just move on and click Save. Moving down, document upload. Some of you may have to provide other paperwork that would go with it. It gives you an example. For most of you, my guess is you won't need a lot. Sometimes proof of status. I mean, if you're applying for a specific program, they might require some extra testing that you would upload there. But for most, I think that page will probably be left as it is. Other academic information, again, we're just working down this side panel. They're going to ask you how long you've been in an Ontario school, how many years you have studied in a Canadian school system. You do not count junior kindergarten or senior kindergarten, so it would start with grade 1. Again, these are very simple questions that you would continue just to move through. Current high school information. Obviously, I am not a student, so right now it's that I don't have any grades, but you'll notice that once you have completed your application, it is already linked to what we have sent from the school. So you will see that your grade 11 marks are there, as well as the courses that you are currently registered in. And that is why it is so important to do this application and actually check to make sure that the courses are correct. Sometimes we do drops, we change classes, we add new classes, and they are not updated onto your university application. So that is your responsibility to come to guidance, come right away to our secretary, Michelle, and let her know that there is a course missing, there is a course there that shouldn't be there. The other important thing is if you are doing classes outside of Holy Trinity. So if you've registered in an online course, you're doing a night school course, we need to make sure that that course is added to your application. So again, please come to Michelle in Student Services and we can make sure that the universities are seeing the true picture of who you are and what you are taking. Okay, so again, all of this should be sent by the school, but if you see any changes, right, that's typically where they would be listed. If you see any changes needed, please come to Student Services. The final button on the side is Review and Submit. And again, that is a chance for you, again, to look over all of the information that you have put in, your phone number, your address, all of the courses that you are interested in. It will check that your marks are correct, your school is correct, everything is going to be there. And you will see that your final tally is going to be at the bottom. Obviously, mine is a test application, so I can't pay for it, but the final button would be down at the bottom, and that would be to take you to the submit, and that would be where you would link to payment options. So I am just going to come back to you, hopefully. Maybe. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. And as I said, we are here to help. Everyone in guidance is available, and you can either email us or stop in if you're having struggles with the application. But make sure, take this with you. This step-by-step really does make it foolproof. And again, if there are any errors or omissions, please let us know in guidance so we can get your application corrected. I just want to stress one more thing I missed. The deadline for Ontario applications is January 15th. However, at Holy Trinity, we are asking you to complete that before the Christmas vacation. And obviously 2 weeks away means that we're not coming back with a lot of leeway in January. Again, if there are any things that we need to correct, sometimes it does take time. So it's important if you finish that application before Christmas, we can make sure it's correct. We can make sure that the payment goes in and you are ready to go, and then you're ready just to sit back and receive your offers. All right, I think that's it for me. Have a great day.